Hi, and welcome back to Beyond the Classroom. I'm Evelyn Wiseman, and I'm sitting here with writer Michael Kimber. Morning, Michael.
Good morning, Evelyn.
How are you today?
I'm very good.
All right. So, Michael, you just moved here from Nova Scotia to Toronto, and your blog, Colony of Losers, is a really big success. You get about over 10,000 hits a week. You've garnered a lot of attention out east, cover stories for the Gazette, Halifax Magazine, The Coast. So you moved out here. I understand within a week you have a literary agent. So you're working on a book right now, correct?
Yes, indeed. I was just wanting to let all the accolades happen at once.
Yeah, excellent. Yes, I'll keep this resume list going. So you moved here, signed with a literary agent. How's your experiences been coming to Toronto?
This is actually the second time I've been in Hard House. The first time was on, I think, an event called Nuit Blanche.
Yes.
I walked past two beautiful naked women, and that was the introduction to Toronto.
Yeah.
Apparently there will be naked women, and I will have to walk past them. So I love Toronto.
That's great. That's great. That's a good start. Let's talk about Colony of Losers. First of all, why is it called Colony of Losers? And do you want to walk people through how your blog works? Because it's quite intricate. I really am a big fan, by the way.
Thank you so much, Evelyn. More accolades. Colony of Losers is about that time when you finish university and you're in that place between being a child with a degree and somehow becoming an adult with responsibility. And for a lot of people, that's a place of absolute panic, especially most of the artists I know who now have to put all those dreams, all those expectations to the test and somehow make it happen. And for me, when I was 25, I had 2 degrees. I actually had like a nervous breakdown.
Yeah.
And as a result of that, I had to really struggle through it. And the day when things got better was March 28th, 2010. And that was the first day I wrote Colony of Losers.
Okay. So for you, this has been sort of almost a medicine that has reached a lot of people and touched a lot of people, because this so-called quarter-life crisis is a very real thing for a lot of individuals. Now, it's called Colony of Losers. And you talk a lot about I'm guessing your friends, people you know. How do they feel about being called losers? And do you want to explain how it's endearing to the audience?
It's like a lullaby in a baby's ear. Colony of Losers is more about not being alone in that period of confusion and fear. And being a loser is not a life sentence. It's more just a phase that everybody has to pass through on their way to doing what they want. Like Bill Gates, before he was incredibly rich, he was making apple pie and not going to the prom.
Is that a true fact?
I don't know that much about Bill Gates, but I have watched him talk, and I'm pretty sure it took a couple million to get him laid.
So you know what? That's probably a valid point. So for those of you listening, www.colonyoflosers.com is the blog. Michael, how often do you put up new postings?
I tend to put up a posting once every 2 days because I like to give a little bit of time for my Facebook friends to not be irritated with me for constantly posting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely has interesting side effects in my life in regards to friends. And
I'm sure, yeah. Because you're very frank and you use people's real names and then you link them together. So if someone enjoys a story about, let's say, Jeff, they could click on Jeff and then read where all the times he comes up as one of the losers, right?
Yes, that is true. I think the weirdest experience I've had with the losers involved dating. There's a description of a look I give when I would like to mate with a female, and it's sort of a hawk-like downward gaze. And I was talking to this girl, we were on a date or whatever, and accidentally I gave this look, and she looked at me and was like, "That's the look." I was like, what do you mean?
Did you write about it? Is that
Yeah, I did actually write about it, and that's a little bit strange. Also, her parents read the blog.
Okay, yeah, I can see how that can get a little strange.
Yeah.
So on Colony of Losers, there is something called The Cure, which is sort of a separate blog and the book you're currently working on. Do you want to talk a little bit about The Cure?
Sure. As I said, in November, I had a bit of a nervous breakdown.
A few years back,
This is actually last November.
Okay, so about a year ago.
About a year ago. It's actually basically a year from then that I actually got the agent.
Great. Well, your loser experience is going well. But talk about the cure, sorry.
Okay. The cure, when you become anxious, you go looking for some answer, some cure, some way of getting over this illness, some way of just getting past it. I tried everything. I smoked dope for years. I stopped smoking. I stopped drinking. I stopped drinking caffeine. I stopped eating unhealthily. Everything the internet told me to do, from meditation to hot yoga.
Hot yoga.
Hot yoga. Actually, one of the most beautiful moments in the cure, in my mind, involves yoga farts. I was in downward facing dog with this beautiful girl right in front of me. She was at the end of her mat. I was at the front of my mat, and she farted into my mouth. And a yoga fart's different, especially a hot yoga fart, because it's sweaty. And the girls are very healthy, eat a lot of beans, so it was like a methane explosion in my mouth.
We got it. We got the picture. It's very funny.
Anyway, basically, that moment, because when you're depressed, it's really hard to laugh. That moment really got through to me and sort of showed me the infinite beauty of the world, which is a strange thing to laugh and cry about. A beautiful girl farting in your mouth.
Well, thank you so much for being with us. colonyoflosers.com and The Cure, dealing with midlife or quarter life and depression, panic, all of those things with humor. Thank you so much for being here, Mike.
Thank you so much, Evelyn, for having me.
We'll be right back after these messages.